Ahoy, sailor. Welcome aboard Sailor Tales, where the sea keeps her darkest secrets. If the call of the ocean stirs your soul, subscribe and ring the bell. Another voyage awaits, and it begins now.
2 months in the crushing black silence, and something deep below started whispering back. Commander Nate Holloway had served aboard many boats, but none quite like the USS Calypso, an aging fast-attack submarine that groaned every time she dipped deeper into the abyss. She was built of steel and stubbornness, a relic of a past era, each weld in her hull holding untold secrets. Holloway remembered stories she whispered in the dark, stories no crewman dared repeat outside the boat. The ocean beneath them felt alive, listening, patient, and judging. Every boat has quirks, a squealing valve, a hissing pipe, but Calypso had hull pops, loud, gut-punching cracks that echoed through the steel. Holloway's first time hearing one, he thought they'd been hit. Half the crew panicked, the other half laughed, raising mugs in mock salute to the steel's strange heartbeat. 300 miles off the Aleutians, running ultra-quiet, lights dimmed to red, no idle chatter, just the hum of scrubbers and groaning metal. Then came the thud, not a crash, not an explosion. Just a pressure-shaking impact, enough to rattle teeth and hearts alike. Something had collided with the submarine. Sonar scrambled to identify. Active sonar revealed nothing. Passive showed a drifting shape. Hours later, rising closer to the surface, it appeared a whale, dead, ancient, scarred. Barnacles the size of helmets clung to its skin. One eye, milky, seemed to stare back. Men whispered ominously. Holloway logged it as BI-001. 62 days submerged, air recycled endlessly, CO2 flirting with dangerous limits, humidity thick enough to feel in lungs, pressure like a mountain pressing inward. The crew changed, laughter vanished, every small noise a wrench dropped, a latch clicked, made heads snap, tension simmered in every cabin, unspoken but constant. Sleep became shallow, eyes dulled, hands trembled ever so slightly when handling machinery. Holloway, lying in berthing, heard it first, a whisper through the steel. "Stop pushing, you're not alone down here." He held his breath. Silence returned. But after that night, he saw others twitching, staring into corners, listening. Days dragged into nights, nights into weeks. The hull popped, groaned, and shifted like it had a mind of its own. Holloway documented it all. Logs of minor incidents, unexplained sounds, creaks that didn't match pressure calculations. Every watch became tense. Every creak might signal something lurking, unseen, intelligent. The crew whispered about the whale, about the hull, about the Calypso herself. Some joked, but nervously. Every man felt the weight of the unseen. Even meals were eaten in silence, utensils clinking softly on metal trays. Tension thickened until it could almost be sliced. Holloway felt the edge of madness brushing against sanity. Holloway began pacing the control room. The lights, dimmed for stealth, cast long shadows. Every gauge, every screen, seemed alive. The sub's sonar murmured static. Sometimes he thought he saw forms beneath the blips, shadows moving impossibly fast, vanishing before recognition. He could not be certain if it was imagination or truth. The CO, Lieutenant Mercer, tried to enforce routine, drill, eat, rest, yet even he faltered. He stared too long at dark corners, whispered to the walls. Holloway caught him one night talking to the hull, asking permission, apologizing, as if the steel itself could hear and judge mistakes. Holloway wrote in his private log, "Silence here is oppressive. Steel listens, the ocean below waits, it remembers." Every day the air grew heavier, every breath felt drawn through water. Thick, metallic, CO2 readings climbed. Humidity pooled in the corners. They were suffocating in slow motion. Minor injuries became major hazards. A slip on a wet deck, a cut finger, a wrench dropped. Everything seemed amplified, each mistake echoing louder than it should. Crews started watching each other, eyes flicking constantly. Holloway realized fear wasn't just of the environment, it was something else, watching, patient. He began keeping a mental tally of strange noises, knocks on bulkheads, whispers in vents, creaks out of rhythm. Sometimes, the whispers formed syllables, almost words. "Holloway, stop. Listen." He never acknowledged them aloud. Speaking seemed to draw attention, so he wrote in his log instead, carefully, obsessively. The dead whale's presence haunted them. Even in its absence, they could sense it. The hull hummed differently whenever they passed its last recorded coordinates. Holloway imagined its eye following them, judging them. He noted every sound, every vibration, every shift in water temperature, as though the creature had marked the sub. Morale deteriorated, smiles became rare. Men refused to sleep near one another. The claustrophobia of the sub, the omnipresent whispers, the unseen watcher, pressed on them like iron bands. Holloway noticed subtle changes, men staring too long at instruments, holding their breath when machinery moved unexpectedly. On day 59, the sub pitched unusually. A shadow crossed the sonar in a way that defied physics. Holloway's stomach knotted. The hull pops came faster, irregularly, almost in rhythm with his heartbeat. The sub was alive, or something alive was riding it. He could not distinguish between vessel and ocean, crew and observer. Night after night, Holloway dreamt of being underwater, the hull cracking, steel bending like flesh. Whispers from the ocean threaded through his dreams, warning him, taunting him. He awoke gasping, thinking the sub was tilting, the lights flickering. Each time he checked all normal, yet he knew normal was gone. Then came the final surfacing, silent, unannounced. The plane rose slowly, the pressure easing, lungs expanded, limbs loosened. Holloway climbed onto the deck, salty wind slapping his face. The men gasped, light, real air, fresh, unfiltered. Relief flooded them like baptism. They were alive, human again. They were changed. Every man carried the memory of silence, whispers, unseen eyes, and the knowledge that the ocean hears, and the steel remembers. Holloway knew the Calypso would speak again, and when it did, if the ocean remembered his name, he might not survive to hear it.
The tide carries this tale to its end, but many more wait beyond the horizon. If this voyage kept you at the edge of your seat, give it a like and subscribe to join the crew. Don't drift away, another story is ready for you just ahead. Until next time, fair winds and following seas.